Guys, today we're going to give you a brief introduction to the world of search engine optimization, also known as SEO, and why it's important. And everybody knows that you want to be on the top of a Google search, right? But how do you get there? Well, it's important to understand what's in it for Google, okay? And not just Google. We have Google, we have Bing, we have Yahoo, we have DuckDuckGo, we have Excite and Lycos, and all of those are still sort of around. We're going to talk in terms of Google because Google does dominate the market share globally. 92% of searches or something are done by Google, and in the States it's 87, 88%, something ridiculous like that. So yeah, we'll talk in terms of Google, and I'll actually show you some things from Bing and Google. So we'll go to Bing real quick. We've got a Google search and we've got a Bing search, and I'm going to do first my search in Google. We're going to do chocolate chip cookie recipes. I'll type that into Bing as well. See here, Bing shows a lot more of these recipes than Google does. Google's got 3, and you can show more. And then you can come down here and you see in these cards, those are good, and they tell you like the star rating and based on how many votes, and 30 minutes is the cook time, and so they all have different information, and you might be more apt to click one that is 30 minutes, right? If you know how to do this, you can even come up with tools, and you can put in searching for new recipes or something. With Bing, you've got like, hey, look, you're a chocolate chip cookie, blah blah blah. So look, that's a weird looking search result unless you're searching for cookies, right? So now we're going to do one. We're going to do a search for electrical safety inspection, Raleigh, NC. And so I'm going to copy this. I'm going to put it over here into Bing. Make that NC correct. And so first of all, I want you to see right up here we have an ad, and then we have another ad. And we have this thing here which is called a featured snippet, and that's really cool. A featured snippet is an organic result. And so you're looking for an electrical safety. Hey, look, schedule it, call now, boom, right there. You didn't even need to click on it, which isn't always a good thing if you're tracking, clicks and everything. So what we're more concerned with than clicks, right, is making sure that you have information that is displayed accurately and it's relevant information. So on Bing, when we do that, there is no featured snippet for that. There is an ad, and it's a little bit more obscured here. You don't necessarily know that that's an ad. But WireTech is still number 1. Title is number 2 here, and here title is number 2. Sorry, title is number 3 here, and here it's number 2. Whereas call progressive is number 2 here. More importantly than that, like we did this search for electrical safety inspection in Raleigh, NC, and I want to show you that when we click on this, it didn't just bring us into this website, it brought us into the electrical safety inspections. We've got all these services here. Now, it would be nice if these were actually linked. But so yeah, you did this search and Google showed relevant to you search results. We have this call progressive one, and it looks like whoever did this may not have targeted their snippet here. So Maybe they did, maybe they didn't. You can tell Google, you can tell Bing what to say here and what to say here. Everything is trying to get people to click. For Google, you got to remember they're making billions of dollars from paid ads when you click on those. So the more relevant the result, the better. The next thing that I want to show you is down here we start to see Cox Car Care, Euro Motors, Old North State Home Inspections. So here you find this information, but here it's car care stuff. That's weird. So maybe if we were to type in home, you'll notice here the map just disappeared altogether. There's no map over here on that. So now I'm going to do one more search in Google. And here now we see these things are local service ads. These are, actually you don't go to a website through this. And this person only gets charged if you call them. You have these ads here that do cost every time somebody clicks, so I'm not going to do that. This box here is only for me, or if you own or manage a search console, and we'll talk about that in the next video. It really, it only shows for you there. But you can see that underneath the ads, the first thing that we have here is the maps listing. And how do you get your maps listing? That's through Google My Business. I'm going to show you about that in another video as well. We come down here and then we see Yelp is the first actual organic list. So we've got our map pack, and then we've got Yelp, or our map pack, and then we've got organic. And then usually at the bottom we see these ads again. There's one ad. These aren't here. Some of these results are neat. They have little links right there in the result, right? You can sometimes put those there. Tell people to put those things in your listing if you want, and then you definitely can in the ads when you're in an ad. I want you to notice that, like, you've got this here saying a date. That's generally not really good if you're having a date and it's for your company. But if you don't turn that off, or if you don't know how to turn that off, it can be a problem. So again, Google trying to show you the most relevant results for your search. At the most basic thing, when you're doing a search for a company, that company should come up first, number one, all of the time. Sorry, I have to do it. Bing actually shows a little bit differently, but we've got our information here, and we have our Google reviews here, a description that you can write, and you should. You see there's that date there. I gotta get that taken off as soon as I can, and then it goes down into these other things. But if somebody does a search for your company or your client's company, you want your website to be there first. You don't want it to be Facebook. You don't want it to be LinkedIn. You don't want it to be anything other than your website, because that's where you can convert people into customers. So now we have an idea of how search works, and now we're going to talk about how to get to the top of search, and that'll be coming in part 2.